I stood by my grandma's bedside, her frail hand in mine, as she whispered my name one last time. Then my aunt stormed in demanding her ruby ring, my ring. Well, Grandma was barely conscious, but I made sure her greed cost her everything. If you've ever had someone try to take what's rightfully yours, this story will light a fire in you. Smash that like button, subscribe, embrace yourself for a tale of betrayal, loss, and sweet, sweet justice. Let's get into it. My grandma was my rock at 24. I still hear her laugh in my head. Warm like honey, dripping over a summer afternoon every Tuesday. We'd have lunch at her favorite cafe, the clink of teacups mixing with her stories about her wild youth. She'd slip me cash for therapy, walk her dogs with me, and call me her favorite grandchild. Not secretly, but proudly, even in front of family. When dementia and geriatric anorexia stole her away, left a hole nothing could fill, she passed peacefully a week ago, and I'm still raw from it. Grandma was wealthy, think diamonds on a whim, wealthy, and loved gifting her jewelry. Over the years, she gave me treasures. A ruby diamond platinum ring, matching earrings, and more, all locked in a safe. These weren't just things. They were her love, her trust in me, but my aunt, let's call her Karen, was different. She's the kind of person who'd argue over who got the bigger slice of pie at family dinners, always with a fake smile. She didn't visit Grandma much, but when she did, it was all about showing off. Her choir, her status, her perfect life. When Grandma's health faded, Karen got worse. I didn't know how low she'd sink until the funeral planning began. Karen turned Grandma's funeral into her personal stage. She insisted on her choir's music, ignoring Grandma's wish for classic hymns. My choir's better than yours, she sneered at my mom, who was barely holding it together. Every family meeting was Karen's soapbox, her demands, her tears, her grief. That felt more like a performance. I'd sit there, nails digging into my poems as she dismissed my suggestions. You're too young to understand, she'd say, her voice dripping with condescension. Then came the false hope. One night, Karen called me voice sugary. I just want us to be close like family should, she said. She even offered to help with Grandma's photo montage for the funeral. I thought, maybe she's not so bad. Maybe grief's changing her. I spent hours picking photos, sharing memories of Grandma, but the next day at the funeral home, Karen trashed my montage. It's too focused on you, she snapped, swapping it for one featuring guess who. Her own face. My stomach churned. It wasn't about grief. It was about control. Then I heard the worst part from my cousin Karen's daughter. Karen had cornered Grandma in her final days, barely lucid, begging for my ring. It should be mine, she'd said, as if my bond with Grandma meant nothing. That betrayal lit a fuse in me. Karen wasn't just entitled, she was desecrating Grandma's memory. I overheard her boasting to a cousin, that ring's too good for her. I'm the eldest. It's my right. My blood boiled. Grandma gave me that ring because she trusted me, loved me. Karen didn't care about her. She wanted the prestige, the sparkle, the bragging rights. She thinks she can take what's mine. Not on my watch. I wasn't going to let her walk over Grandma's legacy. I needed a plan, not to yell or fight, but to make her regret crossing May. Knew Karen's weakness. Her obsession with status. She loved flaunting Grandma's wealth, dropping hints about family heirlooms to her friends. My plan was simple but sharp. Expose her greed in front of everyone, but make it look like her own doing. I'd use her own words against Harry, started by gathering evidence. My cousin, fed up with her mom, showed me texts where Karen ranted about the ring, calling it her rightful inheritance. I saved screenshots, my hands shaking with adrenaline. What if this backfires? What if they think I'm the bad guy? But I pushed through. Grandma deserved better than Karen's selfishness. I decided the funeral would be the stage. Karen was already planning a speech, no doubt to paint herself as the grieving perfect daughter. I'd let her dig her own grave. I quietly asked my cousin to accidentally leak those texts to a family group chat right before Karen's speech. I also prepared a small tribute of my own, a slideshow of Grandma's handwritten notes to me, including one about The ring to show who she really trusted. If this worked, Karen would be exposed without me saying a word. Funeral day arrived heavy with the scent of lilac and grief. Corinne was in her element, schmoozing with relatives, her voice loud and performative. I kept my head down, heart pounding. Stay calm, let her unravel. Just before her speech, my cousin sent the text to the family chat. Phones buzzed, whispers spread. Corinne stepped up to the podium, oblivious, launching into her self-aggrandizing eulogy. Mother always trusted me with her legacy, she said, her smile smug. Then my cousin stood up, holding her phone. Really, Mom? Then why'd you beg Grandma for her ring? The room froze. Corinne's face turned red, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. I cued my slideshow, letting Grandma's notes speak for themselves. To my dearest, for your kind heart. It read next to a photo of the ring. The room gasped. Karen's mask shattered. She was trapped, and I hadn't said a word. Karen stammered, trying to recover. That's not, those texts are out of context. She sputtered, but the family wasn't buying it. My uncle, usually quiet, stood up. You hounded her while she was dying? He roared. Karen's eyes darted, her composure crumbling. She fled the podium, humiliated, as relatives whispered and glared. I felt a rush of triumph mixed with a pang of guilt. Did I go too far? No, she brought this on herself. The slideshow continued, Grandma's love for me shining through every note. Afterward, relatives hugged me, saying she'd be so proud. Karen slunk away, avoiding eye contact. For once, she wasn't the center of attention. She was the villain. Karen's downfall was glorious. She spent the rest of the funeral in the corner, ignored by the family she'd tried to impress. Her choir didn't even perform. My mom swapped them for Grandma's hymns. Last minute, Karen's daughter later told me her mom was mortified, ranting about disrespect, but too embarrassed to confront anyone. I held the ring box in my pocket, its weight grounding me. This wasn't about the jewelry, it was about protecting Grandma's wishes. I'd outsmarted Karen, using her own greed to expose her. For the first time since Grandma's death, I felt peace, like her love was still with me, shielding me from Karen's claws. Karen hasn't mentioned the ring since. She barely looks at me now, her usual smugness replaced by a wary glance. I didn't need to scream or fight. I let her own actions bury her revenge. It wasn't about hurting Karen. It was about honoring Grandma's trust. Sometimes justice means letting the truth speak for itself. Karma doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and that's enough. Did this story make you cheer for justice? Hit that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most entitled thing someone's tried to pull on you? Subscribe for more Reddit revenge stories that'll keep you hooked.